Alright, so I wanted to prove to myself that my layout only wants one person to run on it, and that person is me. If you want to see what I'm talking about, watch the video coming right up.
This Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF 6951. Welcome back to another Vid Productions video. I am Vinny, your host, also known as BNSF 6951. This is a model railroad channel. So if you guys are interested in run-up sessions, scratch builds, live streams, prototypes, and everything related to model railroads, this is the channel for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there, hit the bell that's up there, and give me those too. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get on with the video, so come on in.
Alright guys and gals, before we get on to the meat of this video, I want to make a little bit, make you aware of a little bit of something that's going to be coming up. I have been commissioned to do 2 model kits, and the person this is for is Matt, and I don't know his exact YouTube username. It's a bunch of letters. He's in my live streams quite often, but Matt, I will put your username down below. Anyhow, in Matt's words, he wants me to do whatever I can to make this, in his words, one gigantic build. So I'll see what I can do. I started playing around with it yesterday. There's really not too much I can do with this, so we'll see what works out. Alright, now let's talk about this video. I want to prove to myself that this layout has a mind of its own. It does. And the reason why I say that is because I just did a run/op session to prove to myself that it would run fairly good with no problems, except for maybe a couple of issues and a couple of spots where the locomotive slowed down. I'm also doing this because I had a request from BFU Railroad. He wants me to do an op session in my lumber facilities. So, with that being said, I did not stop the camera. If anything, if I had derailment or something like that, it's going to be in the video, but there was none. just to let you know, the only time I stopped the camera was to change angles or change positions of the camera. Anyhow, I think this is going to be a pretty good op session. I mean, like I said, it went pretty smooth actually. We're going to start off with a fictitious lumber train coming down from the north. We're going to catch it as it goes through Wickenburg. So with that being said, let's get on with the video. Be right back. Alright guys, we catch our train as it goes through Wickenburg. We have a 7-car consist of lumber going into Phoenix, and it's being towed by an SD70 Ace number 9370. We are observing speed going through town. And we'll be going across the Wickenburg Bridge here shortly and head down towards the Hassayampa River. Now let me remind you guys that, again, I did not stop the camera. It's a full run, whatever it takes to get down to the destination of the overflow yard in Phoenix/Glendale. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, we're in the town of Morristown right now, and we're going across the Hassayampa River. Again, this is nowhere as close to the actual mileage that these places are from each other. What we're going under right now is called the Morristown flyover bridges. And we're passing the future home of my Adobe Sierra Adobe ethanol plant. Yeah, some of those mountains are going to come back and they're going to come out. I don't know what I'm going to do there, but after all this time, I just don't like them. And the next bridge we're going to go over is going to be called the Agua Fria Bridge. Again, it's nowhere as close to how far it is from the other bridge. But after this bridge, we'll be entering the helix, and we'll follow the train as it goes through the helix. Now, I didn't want to cut the camera off again, so I just left it here, and whatever I can grab as far as the train running through the helix, that's all I did. I didn't want to move the camera. I just kept the camera here and just kind of lowered. I have it extended up as far as I could, and I'll just lower it as the train goes lower. I will lower the camera. There'll be a scene change when this train gets to the bottom of the helix. I will move the camera so you can see the front of the train going across the crossovers into the siding and then the yard lead. This locomotive is a Kato locomotive, and it's got a Digitrax decoder in it. No sound, just normal everyday locomotive. I just love my Kato locomotives. They run so smooth. And this locomotive would have no problem pulling these cars up the hill versus going down the hill. I need to get my JMRI working so I can start programming some of these locomotives and get them speed matched together, because it would be cool to run a couple of, like I have 3 SD70 Aces. I'd like to run them all together, but they're all, even though they're all Kato locomotives, the speed match is not the same. And the reason why you don't hear any sound on the layout itself is because I had the mic turned off on the camera. This video is being recorded with my Canon Vixia. I think it's HF something 800. I don't remember the exact number or name of it, but I know it's a Vixia. It's true 1080, and to me, it's all I need. I only wish I had a camera that had remote control. That's the only thing I wish. One of these days I'll get one of those. Now, there's no car cards or anything like that. When this gets down to where it goes, I'm just going to randomly pick out which industry they go to, and that's how we're going to do the op session. Now, we got one more loop before we're going to have a scene change. And this loop here, I believe, is the last one. It will be coming out of the helix, and I will change the position of the camera when it exits the helix. Okay, so here's the next scene. Now this is actually exiting the helix. It's going to negotiate all of those turnouts right there. And like I said, if there's a derailment, it would be in here. I would not take it out. But that was 3 turnouts right there, and it's going to go across another one right now. So that's 4 turnouts negotiated with no problems. And now this is the siding for the industries up in what I am calling North Phoenix or Glendale, but it also incorporates the yard lead to the overflow yard. And look at that, a flawless going through all the turnouts. Now we're going to be entering the yard lead right about now. And I will be doing another camera position change as soon as I think the last car. There we go. So now we are coming around the corner on the yard lead, and we're going to enter the yard on arrival track number 1. And again, we're going to negotiate 2 or 3 more turnouts here. And once he parks his train, the power will cut loose and head towards Phoenix. And then we'll grab our switching power, which will consist of two SD40-2s. One of them is number 6951. Alright, power cut loose, and now he's heading back towards Phoenix. He'll go to the locomotive facility there and get fueled up and sanded up again, and possibly get turned around on the turntable. And I try to maintain scale speed, guys. I don't know what speed that's at right now, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to like 15 or 20 miles an hour. And those are the two lumber facilities we're going to service today. And we will not follow this into the yard. We'll just, as soon as he gets through the hole, we'll cut him loose and start with the next section of this run up session. Alright, there is our power for today. 6951, and I believe the other one is 5073. Two SD40-2s. These are my favorite locomotives, not only because of 6951. I just love SD40s. And you can see a little slowdown there. I need to check the gauge on the track and on the trucks on my locomotives and see what's going on with that. So right now we're going to head down departure arrival track number 2 so we can get to the lumber facility. We will be having another camera position change in a couple of seconds, so we can get to the front of the locomotives. And here we go. Now he's going to come out of the yard. He's going to head over towards the lumber facility. And he's got to do quite a few crossovers to get to where he needs to go. And he's just going to take the empties out and put them on that service track right next to the two center beams you see there. But here's the first crossover, turnout I should say. And we will be going across 3 more. And it's funny, so far nothing has gone wrong, except for the locomotive slowing down in a couple of spaces there. So now he's got to pull forward of these this crossover, and gargantua hands in the way. And now he's going to do the first crossover. And once he makes that crossover, we're going to set him to a straight track, and we're going to back him up and get that third turnout. And that will put him in the facility. That would be the small siding that the lumber facility has. Now, we were granted 1 hour of blocking up the main, so if we need to use the main, we can. But I don't think we did, actually, except to do some crossovers and stuff like that. But we are going to go into Builder's Choice. I believe Builder's Choice first? No, I think we're going to go into Hootig first. Yeah, we're going to go into Hootig first. We're going to pick up whatever is in there. Boxcar and a bulkhead flat are coming out. Now this is one of the places that had a couple of issues. So this is actually where I had stopped the camera to hook them up. I don't think this, the second SD40, I don't think he's got new couplers on there. Anyhow, with a little 050 help, he is hooked up now. And we will be taking these 2 cars and putting them on the siding. All right, let's back them up, put them on the siding. Now there's probably 100 different ways you can do the switching in this area. I'm just doing this just to make sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to. In fact, I'm doing crossovers where I really shouldn't be doing crossovers. I should just go back the way I came. But like I said, I just wanted to be a little creative here and do some extra switching just to let you guys know that everything is working. Now these two cars we're going to pick up here, the center beam and bulkhead flat, we're going to put them on a track right next to it because we don't have enough. We don't want to waste any time to bring these back to the yard just yet. We'll do that on another day. So we're going to pull him out. And so far, it's been pretty flawless except for the locomotive slowing down and the uncoupling situation. No derailments or stuff like that. All three locomotives will run just fine. I think Vinny screwed up there. I think Vinny screwed up there. Come on. Well, I must have made up my mind the way I was going to do this. Alright, well, like I said, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do this maneuver. I don't know, did I get myself in trouble? No, I don't think so. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get behind the two that are on the siding and we're going to shove them into that service track. I call it a service track is what I call it. Now, it's funny because understand why it was hard for this locomotive to come back. Is this the part? Oh, maybe not. Oh no, it's when I bring the other cars in. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and shove these 4 cars in that service track. Once we shove these cars and tie them down, the 2 locomotives will go back to the holding yard and pick up his deliveries. Now I didn't have to do all of these turnouts right here, but I just did it just to make sure everything is working properly. I could have went back the same way. Uh-oh, Vinny made a boo-boo. Nah, 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 nah. Yeah, you're supposed to keep that one the way it was and just continue on. But like I was starting to say, I could have went back the other way and just went across 3 turnouts instead of all the turnouts I'm going to go across right now to get back to the yard. But I just wanted to do it just to see if there was going to be any problems. And so far, I think you guys would agree with me that this is going fairly smooth. So we just went across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go 6, 7, 8. No, we're going to go across 9 turnouts in this move. Alright, now we're getting ready to head into the yard and pick up our deliveries. and that's going to be 7 lumber full cars. All right, we got our cars. We're going to head back to the lumber facility now. And by the way, I am using speed step anywhere between 11 and 14 for all of the moves I'm making on here, and I did not turn the throttle off. All I did was hit the reverser. Just so, you know, once I got the turnout set, I just hit the reverser and let it back over the turnout I just set. Now this one, I think we're going to go back down to the other end. I think. And we're going to do a couple of crossovers again to get to where we need to go. Now, that first flat car was a gift from Dave. It's an intermountain. Sorry about that. It seems to run really well. The load is not even glued down on it. It's just hanging out. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do that. Oh, this is the part where I was having problems with the locomotive backing up. And you'll see why. I couldn't understand because I just used this piece of track and it ran fine. But I kind of had to coax it to get it to go. And once it comes out of the hole, you'll see why. See, I got to give it a little pushy push. And here comes the locomotives. But let's see what we picked up while we were in that hole. Oh no, we picked up a dead SD78. No wonder why it was struggling to pull out. Look at that. As soon as I took it off, boom, it started to go. How funny. Alright, so now we're going to do the same maneuver we did earlier. We're just going to cross over back into that siding and deliver our cars. You can pretty much see my throttle. It's at 12 right there. And we'll just hit the reverser without even turning the throttle down. And we'll go ahead. And again, guys, I'm just showing you that these cars are having no problems going over these turnouts. Now, those turnouts right there are Atlas turnouts, believe it or not. They are Code 55 Atlas turnouts. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to People's Choice, and we're going to deliver three of the 7 cars. Or is it 4? No, it's 3 of the 7 cars, I believe. And now, again, I don't have to do all of this, but I'm just doing it to see if everything works the way it's supposed to work. So now we're going to go around and get to the front of these center beams, and we'll shove them into Hootig Building Supplies. But again, look at all the crossovers I'm going to be doing here. And again, I didn't touch the throttle. All I did was hit the reverser. If it runs good at that speed, why mess with it, right? Uh-oh, I think Vinny screwed up. Nah, 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 nah. Alright, here we go again. There's just enough momentum on these locomotives for me to actually just use the forward and reverse button. And I know the lights don't work on there. One of these days I'm going to put some lights in these locomotives. Alright. Broken coupler. Yeah, we got to push this whole lot. and get it over onto the siding track. So again, we're going to do 3 crossovers, or 3 crossover in siding. Got an anxious brakeman there. Alright, so we're going to do the crossover again. And guys, you see guys, I mean, like I said, the camera has been rolling from the start. I have not turned the camera off other than to just move positions or whatever. Now this was a move I could have done in 1, but I decided to do in 2. Again, just to show you that it doesn't matter which way these cars are set up, they're not going to mess up. Alright, so we're going to back up one more time. And we're going to go into that siding right there. And then we're going to start delivering these cars to Hootig Building Supplies, which is the track just at the top right there. So, do you guys believe me now that my layout is jinxed? This is too funny, man. I mean, like, other than those couple of little slowdowns and the coupling issue, this went flawless. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better. So what we're going to do here is we're going to separate these cars, which I really didn't have to, but I just wanted to do, you know, a little extra work. I'm sure in the real world they wouldn't do that. They would just take them and slide them into where they need to go. But we're going to do it my way. See, I could have just taken that turnout right where it is now and had all 4 cars in tow and just kind of head out towards the main line and then just back all 4 in. But like I said, my layout, my op session, I can do it the way I want. In case you're wondering what that pink dot is on there, when I had an op session with the Santam Model Railroad Group, I was using those to identify where the cars had to go. So we'll go ahead and uncouple here. And we'll come back and get the last 2 cars. And then we will park our power for the night. And we will say good night. Thank you very much. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. It was actually fun for me to do, to prove to everybody that my layout can run flawlessly if nobody else is here. And it's not shy of the camera anymore. It actually works pretty good with the camera. So, like I started to say, anyhow, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 and the Cuz out for now. See, I think that front locomotive needs to get a coupler replaced on it. But anyhow, there you go. Op session at my 2 lumber facilities for BFU Railroad. Hope you enjoy, buddy. Thanks for the request. And by the way, this was a voiceover. The entire video was a voiceover except for the very beginning on the intros. But yes, this was a voiceover. Alright, and 6951 and 5073 are going to park. The crew's going to lock it down, and everybody's going to go home. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now.